finishing up this lesson, we are going to have the rowing club, and they are going to rent a 57-passenger bus for the day trip. The cost of the bus is $750. Now, 5 of the passengers will be chaperones, and just so you know, chaperones do not have to pay. And I kind of referenced that down here. If the students who attend have to share the bus equally, what function models? So when it asks what function models the cost, just so you guys know, that's asking you like what's the equation. It's going to be the cost per student C, and that will be respect to the number of students N to attend. What is the domain of the function? How many students have to ride the bus to make the cost no more than $20? So we know that our cost is going to be split up. It's $750, and it's divided by the number of students who go. Now remember, we can fit 57 people on this bus, okay? But we want the cost to be $20. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away my cost. I'll rewrite my equation. I'll just draw an arrow. I'm at my home, so I'm sorry if you hear some background noise. And the cost is going to get replaced with what we're hoping. So we want our cost to be $20, but we want $20 to be greater than or equal to our equation of what our students have to pay. So when we multiply both sides by n, we get 20n being greater than or equal to 750. And when you divide by 20, let's go ahead and get a calculator out so we can see what that's going to look like. We'll have 750 divided by 20. We end up with 37.5. Now remember, n is how many students there are going to be. Now, we can't have 37.5 students, so we need to say that our number of students, we'll just actually make it a statement. We'll have to have 38 or more students. Now you might say, hey, what about that part about the chaperones? That comes into play with the domain of this particular problem. I don't think it actually, it sure does. So here's our equation. This was question 1. It said, what's the equation? And I skipped ahead and I did question 3. See how it was, I'll color code them, okay? Question 1 was right here. What's the function? Question 2 says, what's the domain? So in other words, they're asking what are reasonable values for n? Well, remember how n stood for the number of students? I hope you agree that we could have 0 students all the way to not 57 students, but the 57-passenger van, take away the 5 chaperones, would be 52 students. So the second question did ask about the domain. I got too excited and I rushed ahead. Here's our domains. Number 2, it asked about the domain. And then the third thing, it says how many students to make it no more than $20 per. So we need 38 or more students. So maybe the best way to even say that would be 38 to 52 students. Let's do that. Let's say 38 to 52 students. That would be the best answer because we could have 38 and we could have all the way up to 52, and that would make the cost no more than $20. So just kind of to conclude, make sure that when you guys are doing your graphs, remember how if you make your XY chart, please be very careful to put your middle number here and then to surround it. Let's just do this one more time. This was from earlier in the lesson. Let's say that you decide the middle number should be 3. I would highly encourage you to use 2.5, 2, and 1. I would highly encourage you to use 3.5, 4, and 5. Let's try one more time because I think sometimes the XY chart, you don't know what to pick. That could be a hard thing. Let's say that for some reason you choose -5 to be your middle number. I would highly encourage you to do -5.5, -6, and -7, and -4.5, -4, and -3. I just completed your homework, so I just wanted to make sure I made that very clear, that I expect you to have your middle number listed, and then I expect you to have nice numbers that surround it to give you a very good shape of what your graph should look like. If you want to go ahead and do the lesson check, you're more than welcome to, and then you can ask me questions if you have any, or you can dive right into the homework.